think about our generation, I'm reminded of this passage. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Listen very careful, people of God. The worst thing in the world is to be in a position of power and believe you know everything. Everything you do or say is right and everybody else has it wrong. People of God, I must say this with authority. Power in the hands of a fool is dangerous. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Ken Mahone from Christ is the Answer Ministries. It's good to see you. God bless you. Let me get started. I was impressed with this song that was in a sermon I preached in 2016. And the song reading, "My life is in your hands." He said, you don't have to worry and don't be afraid. Joy comes in the morning. Trouble, they don't last always, but there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, I know that I can make it. I know I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in your hands. So when your tests and trials, they seem to get you down, and all your friends and loved ones are nowhere to be found, remember there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hand and say, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in your hands. This morning, my passage is coming out of the book of Job, the 14th chapter, the first verse, very familiar chapter. It reads, a man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. My subject this evening is be still and know that I am God. God called Job a perfect and upright man. Job lived a good life and did not sin. However, he suffered as all of God's children will. Job stated that life was brief and full of trouble. Job made this statement because of what he experienced during his encounter with Satan. Job experienced sickness, which was afflicted within his body. Loneliness when he felt he was all alone and no one understood what he was going through. His wife nor his friends. We have all experienced loneliness during our trial. Disappointment when you have done your best and lived a perfect life for the Lord, but you still are attacked by Satan and all his trickeries. Death, when you see all your kids, your livestock, and your health killed. So Job stated boldly that a man born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. All he experienced caused Job to say, life is short and not fair. People of God, Job suffered, and his suffering was severe, but he never gave up. He might seem weak. He possibly could have questioned God why you allow these terrible things to happen to me and my family. But one thing Job did not do, he did not fall to his suffering. He kept the faith. Job stated, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. How many of you, under the sound of my voice, can say when you are tested by Satan and all his foolishness, that you can remember God is your Redeemer? How many can say Jesus is my hope in the time of my trouble? Here lies our problem. Sin is doing his job to keep you confused and off balance. But the failure is not in you. See, while we try to fight our way out of our circumstances, we tend to forget Jesus during our trial. Reverend, What should we do in the time of our needs? Old folks used to say, hold on to God's unchanging hand. The word tells us if we call on Jesus, he will answer. There's a passage in the Bible that tells the battle is not ours, it's the Lord. God is telling you to be still and know that he is God. The other day, I called Marriott to check on my points. The more points I have, the more free stays I can use at a Marriott hotel. In the past, I traveled a lot more than I do now, and I always wanted to stay in nice places. So throughout the years, when I travel, I will save all my points. So I noticed they took all my points away from me. So I called Marriott, and the customer service representative had me on the call for 45 minutes explaining why they could not give my points back to me. The people of God, those who know me know Ken don't give up easy. So I asked her to speak to her boss. He was very rude, and I remained pleasant as I spoke to him about my points I was taking from my account. He flat out told me, we sent you 3 letters and 3 emails, and it is not our responsibility to follow up with each reward member, which is true. At this point, I was a little upset and requested he reconsider his decision. He said, no, it's a company policy. So at that point, I settled for his answer until later in the day. I was led to call again. This time, I wanted to talk to his boss. Once the customer service rep got on the phone, I told her I needed to speak with the manager of the gentleman who denied my request. She placed me on hold for about 20 minutes. When she came back to the call, she apologized for the previous manager and stated that the manager is willing to give you your points back if you agree to donate 1,000 of my points to the homeless veteran. I said to the young lady, is he shaking me down for my points? See, I know how to count, and I know something is better than nothing. So I agreed to their terms. I told her, sure, donate the points. People of God, when I checked my points later that evening, I was looking to see a certain number of points, but saw that they doubled my points. See, God saw favor in my request and gave me an increase for my trouble. What man do for evil, God will turn it around for your good. All you need to learn is how to have faith without doubt. And be still and know that he is God. He will surely deliver you from whatever you are experiencing. You might be experiencing issue with illness in your body. First, I would recommend you call on the Lord and get an answer. And while he is working it out, you need not worry, but be still and know that he is God. And claim your healing in the name of Jesus. Jesus is a healer, even if the world don't believe it. You might be going before a judge, and this time you are really innocent. He said, as soon as I got my life on track, this happens to me. Job told you that a man is born of a woman, a few days, and many problems. Remember, Job was innocent, but his wife was pure hell for his life. His life was pure hell for a season. Do as Job when he stated, though you slay me, I will still trust you. Job was speaking to God. Then be still and know that he is God. Claim your victory in the middle of your storm. His name is Jesus. People of God, whatever you are experiencing, know that God is with you. Satan is only allowed to do what God allows him to do. The old folks will say, God will not place more on you than you can bear. If you go in and say you are a child of God, you must know that trials and tribulation will come. But God states, I am with you, even until the end of time. He gave us this assurance. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding, But in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. I need you to walk the walk and talk the talk. God is able to bring you through whatever you are going through. He wants you to be still and know that he is God. Listen, sometimes you will need to walk alone. Job was married and lonely during his journey. Job went through his trials all by himself. His wife suggested he curse God and die. His friends told him, there is something you did, Job. There will be people in your life who don't believe in you and will say negative things about you. You feel all alone. But what God is doing, he is revealing your enemies. He's creating a table in front of your enemies. While you are in your valley, where he is raising new friends up, they will be there for you while he leads you to your next level. Folks, everybody can't go to your promised land with you. Those friends will tell you that you think you're all this and that. Let them know you are a child of the Most Highest. They will tell you how much you changed since you prospered. I'm going to tell you a secret between you and me. Everybody confess to be your friend or your friends is not your friends. Ask God to give you the spirit of discernment to weed out the bad. Like Job, he had removed everybody out so he could take all his burdens to the Lord and leave them. Remember, Job's latter days was better than his former. Job was rewarded double for all his troubles. Job's secret was that he became still and he allowed God to do what God do. People of God, there'll be storms in your life, but it's up to you. It's up to you how or if you will get through those storms. I'm recommending you to be still and know that he is God. People of God, when God elevates you from one level to another level in your life, Satan will attack you at each level. It's just like Monopoly. Each time you move 5 steps forward, Satan attacks. It is how you respond to those attacks that will determine if you can move forward. However, you allow Satan to defeat you, just like the game. Sometimes you are required to go back to start and begin again. As long as you are listen, folks, as long as you are doing nothing in the body of Christ, Satan is idle in your life. But as soon as a positive movement begins in your life, Satan's job is to keep you from growing. Each step you take in the will of God is you being elevated to a new level. For each step, Satan will attack you. Now, if you hold on to God and change your hand, and allow God to fight your battle, you will move to the next level. But if Satan defeats you, sometimes you need to start over. You need to learn how to trust God. Sometime as you're moving up, you will need to hold on tight because the higher you climb, the more severe the attacks are. During your trials, be still and know that he is God. He will not leave you, nor will he forsake you. He'll be with you even until the end of time. Some of you viewing this program have experienced needs year after year. You find that you have been struggling most of your life. Understand, faith without work is dead. He asked God for anything within his kingdom. You must believe that he will do just what you have asked him to do. But when you ask, you must not have doubt. Once you ask God for your needs to be met, know that he will give you the desires of your heart. Then you need to be still and know that he is God. We have come to the end of your journey. Everything you tried has failed. I'd like for you to try Jesus now. Tell him all your problems and allow him to work it out for you. After you have handed it over to God, then you need to be still and know that He is God. And let Him fix it for you because He knows just what to do. People of God, you say you are a Christian. But every time the journey gets tough, you head for the border. God needs folks who will stand up through the good and the bad. He's not looking for quitters. He's looking for winners. Stop shortchanging God. David wrote this: "The earth is the Lord, and everything in it, the world and all who lives in it. We have been programmed to fear asking." We need to understand that we have not because we ask not. But when we are on our job, we feel we are not qualified to be promoted. But the word tells us we are more than conquerors. Now go get whatever your heart desires and be a champion for the Lord. You want people to see how He's blessed you. He can bless you with that degree. He can bless you with that new car. He can bless you with more faith. He can bless you with courage. He can even bless your not so good looking tail to get that fine woman. And everybody's saying, how did he get her? And what is he doing to keep her? All you need to tell them is Jesus answered all my prayers. And all I had to do was ask and be still and know that He is God. People, promotion and favor is from the Lord. Stop giving up so easy. God will give you the desires of your heart. You must believe. Job stated that a man is born of a woman is a few days and many troubles. But I read nowhere in that verse saying it was going to be every day. See, trouble don't last always. Joy will come in the morning. As I prepare to sign off, listen, folks, it's better to trust in the Lord than put confidence in man. Listen, man will let you down, but God will never fail nor forsake you. As a young man, I never worried, nor do I worry now as much. I learned if I can't control it, then I won't worry about it. I learned back then to place all my problems in God's hand. I learned to surrender all my cares unto Him, allow Him to work it out. Because His word stated, He cares for me. People, stop making yourself sick for things you can control. Understand these things will be here even after you have died and gone on. I want you to live your life to the fullest. Stop worrying and be happy. You hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battle. Victory, oh victory, will be yours. I want you to know the Lord will make a way. God is our refuge. He's our strength and ever-present help in trouble. No matter what your test might be, God will take care of you. Be still and know that He is God. The book of John, the 16th chapter, the 33rd verse reads, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Matthew, the 6th chapter, the 34th verse reads, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. God is telling you, focus on today and right now. Look at your neighbor or a friend or call somebody and tell them, I don't know what you are going through. What I do know is God will make a way. Look at someone else and say, if you will just be still and know that God will work it out for you. People, as I look back over my life, the same way I say, and I think things over, I can truly say that I have been blessed. Then the same way I say, I got a testimony. Sometimes I couldn't see my way through, For the Lord, he brought me out. Right now I'm free, and I have got the victory. I have had some good days. Somebody wrote, I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days. I've had some sleepless nights. But when I look around and I think things over, all my good days outweigh my bad, so I won't complain. David was in trouble. This is what the word tells us. He was running for his life. Saul wanted David dead. David was presented to the king, but he acted as if he was insane. And the king dismissed David, and David was required to leave the land. Once David was delivered from his trouble, he wrote the following passage. He said, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praises shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make a boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him, and were lightened. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angels of the Lord encamped around about them that feared him, and delivered them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth him. The righteous cry, and the Lord hears, deliver them out of all their troubles. This is for you. The righteous cry, and the Lord hears, and deliver them out of all of their troubles. I better bring this to a close, but before I do, let me remind you of this last truth. Trouble don't last always. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Let all God's people say amen. I wish you a blessed evening, and may God bless you. Yes,